Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has just wrapped up his 4-day visit to the country, and before heading back, he shared a few thoughts with the media, which included our Japan correspondent Walter Sim. Well, Walter joins us now. So in the meeting with his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida, PM Lee spoke about a range of topics as well as Japan opening up again. Walter, on that particular front, what did they discuss?
Well, according to Prime Minister Lee's account of their bilateral meeting, he did convey to Mr. Kishida that many Singaporeans were very anxious and very excited about being able to visit Japan again for the food, for the skiing, the scenery, and that the flights are bound to be full when that happens. So yes, the topic did come up in their discussion.
In fact, yesterday when I met Prime Minister Kishida, I told him there are many Singaporeans who used to visit Japan regularly and are very anxious to come back to Japan again for the food, for the skiing, for the scenery, for the religious tourism to the Buddhist sites. And we hope that you will open up. And once you do, I'm sure the flights will be full. And I think he heard me.
But Mr. Lee also noted how Japan is due for an upper house election in July. Mr. Kishida would be wary to take any drastic measures before that, especially since media surveys, including one by the Mainichi newspaper last weekend, showed that whilst 43% of respondents were in favor of relaxing border controls, as high as 41% were against the idea. Still, Japan has been taking baby steps, and Mr. Kishida announced on Thursday that Japan would start accepting tour groups from 98 countries and regions, including Singapore, from June 10. But these numbers are still likely going to be quite limited since there is a daily arrival cap of 20,000 people a day. Notwithstanding that, however, Mr. Lee told reporters that he was hopeful that after the July election, if the COVID-19 situation in Japan remains stable, that there is a very good chance of Japan opening up further.
Well, on another issue, Singapore is bracing itself for a possible supply disruption of fresh chickens from Malaysia. We understand PM Lee made his first public comments on this in Japan today. Walter, what did he say to the media about that?
Well, Prime Minister Lee said that it is regrettable but not entirely surprising, especially since supply chain disruptions and surging inflation have placed many governments around the world under pressure. Mr. Lee noted that supply chain disruptions had in fact occurred earlier in the COVID-19 pandemic when there was a shortage of masks and PPEs that led countries trying to seek to secure enough for themselves, and this included measures such as interdicting and requisitioning supplies. Mr. Lee stressed that, however, Singaporeans have no need for alarm in the current situation, as the country has been for several years now building up buffer stocks and resiliency whilst diversifying its sources.
The answer to it is not what we do now, but what we have been doing now for several years, which has been to build up our buffer stocks and our resiliency and diversify our sources, so that if any single source is interrupted, we are not unduly affected. And if you can't buy chicken from one place, well, you can get chickens from other countries. And this time it is chicken, next time it may be something else. We have to be prepared for this. It's a very unsettled world, and inflation is a problem, cost of living is a problem, but in the scheme of things, actually, many more disruptive things can happen than just some price adjustments. And we are seeing some of that now.
It may be chicken now, but it may be something else the next time. All in all, he said that Singapore has to be prepared come what may.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos.